All right. Questions for the Olam that's here. First question is there a problem with buying Starbucks black coffee? So there's regarding Starbucks, Bechlal, the CRC from Chicago, they're the ones that have a very big koch in preparing all the information for the Starbucks. They have a whole list where they constantly post all their updated things. So they write about Starbucks black coffee that in theory everything should be fine. The problem is with the kalim that they use to make the Starbucks black coffee. So the kalim are washed together with their other kalim. Now they have almost all he says that all Starbucks today they sell also non-kosher sandwiches, hot foods, and these foods and these items that they make those foods is washed together. And therefore, it's a problem. They sit together in the same hot water, and even though sometimes soap is obviously added, but it's only added later. So mainly, you're having the kalim which are used for the Starbucks for the black coffee are sitting in boiling hot water or hot water together with treifa other items, and therefore it's a problem. Now sometimes they clean it not in that together in the sink. So if you know how it's cleaned, and yes, you can ask the person there, and sometimes you can trust them. It depends on if they know what they're doing, then it could be fine. So that's basically, there is a potential problem with many of the Starbucks, and I think Rabbi Fishbein says that he went to different places. Some of them is they clean it with a cleaning thing inside the thing itself, inside the pot where they brew it. Then there isn't a problem, but often they take it out, so you have to know what they're doing. Now there's something else which they don't mention at all over there, and all the Achshedim never talk about it, but that is from the Arizal. The Arizal says that coffee that's brewed by a goy is a problem of bishul akum. No one else brings it la'alach l'maisa. None of the Achshedim today mentioned that, but the Darkei Tshuva says that. So that's a big chumrah, which, like I said, no one goes by that la'alach l'maisa, but there is a place to be machmir on that as well. They do mention that in Starbucks there's one thing called Americano. Americano, the machine that's used for the Americano coffee, that machine is never removed separately. That always gets cleaned within itself, and that's fine as long as they use a disposable cup to prepare it. Not sure exactly how the Americano works, but that's, if you're familiar with Starbucks, you should know that the Americano, again, according to Arizal, it's still an issue, but according to the regular accepted way of halacha, that would be fine. Quickstar is the same thing. You have to know how they clean their kalim. If they clean their kalim in their, so Quickstar over here, they for sure have treifa things that they're selling, hot treifa items. So if they're cleaning them together in the same sink, it's very possible. They bring over there that it's still possible that it should be kosher. It's only klisheni and it's not metzoletis, but they're saying it's not shaila free. It's a cloud that the CRC says that we always want to, when we say something is recommended, it's shaila free. I really want to point out to them it's not shaila free because with that Arizal it's not. But I guess no one goes by that Arizal, so that's even though Darkei Tshuva brings it, but Lepoil. If it depends how it's, if they always ask how it's cleaned. If it's cleaned in the spot on the thing itself, then it's not a problem. If it's clean, they clean it by hand and they don't let it sit in the sink for a. The question is how they by hand, meaning it sits in this sink together with the other items, then it could be a problem. If they clean it by hand, each thing for itself, then that's fine. All right, very important question. If I'm using Meiser money for an auction, what do you have to give for my own money? Can it be just $1? So the Baruch is asking the question as an assumption that you could for sure use Meiser money for Chinese auctions. The question only would be, how much of your own money do you have to put in? So really, I was doing some research about it. So there's a website which has shilas and it has chuvas, and then it has like a summary, the short answer, and then it has a whole article. So for this question, can you use Meiser money for Chinese auction? They're right. The short answer, there is no short answer. This is a complicated one. Basically, there's a lot of different opinions. And Rabbi Broin writes in his chuvas also about it, in his website he also writes about it. So basically, there's definitely not a problem to use Meiser money for a Chinese auction. The problem only is going to be if by some chance you win the auction, that's the question. The problem is as follows. The problem is if you giving Meiser money, that means it's tzedakah money. So if tzedakah money buys the auction, then tzedakah money owns the ticket. So if the tzedakah money wins now this Pixel, whatever, the phone or any other retreat to Orlando, so tzedakah just won that prize. So the tzedakah gets the prize, makesher to me. Oh, I'm the broker, I helped out. So like every broker, you take a percentage. You collect money, you take a percentage for yourself. So you can take a percentage from the prize, 10%, 20%, 30%, but that the prize should be yours, that's the big shayla. So that is the machlekes amongst Rabbanim. They bring over there. So many poskim say that you can use Meiser money, but it's not your prize afterwards. When you win the prize, it belongs to the organization. You can have it. Some poskim do say that you do have the rights to complete the prize completely. Some say you have to pay some percentages. Basically, there's tons and tons of opinions out there. Rabbi Brain has a list of 19 potential shilas why it's a problem to use Meiser money for Chinese auctions. Again, if you win it, not so much about. He also has some issues with the Chatchila using money for it as well. So the payil is something which you must ask your personal Rav to tell you, because there's so many different options out there. Your Rav might end up telling you that it's perfectly fine for you to win, if you win the prize, to use it for yourself. That's what your Rav tells you, that it's fine. But many Rabbanim will seem to say that there's like an idea of making a tanai, that if I win, so let's say I win a $10 prize, so I'll pay $10 of my personal money. Everything else will be meiser. But that some say it's not okay, because it's a very, very long list of complications. It's not a one-foot answer. It's not a one opinion. There's so many opinions out there. Question: in the Va'ate Tzave, is there four or five questions? So this is there was a mitzvah going on about learning Va'ate Tzave well, and it seems like there was a machlokes amongst some of the Bachrim and Anhala regarding if there are 4 or 5 questions in the first ice. So the Bachar wants to know what my opinion is, as if he really cares. But B'cholifin explained, it's basically one question over here, which the Rebbe asks and then seems to be adding. The question is, it says Va'ate Tzave. The Rebbe's question is, usually it says Tzaves B'nei Yisrael, and here it says Va'ate Tzave, so why is it different? The Rebbe says Lahoisif, that it's not just a difference in semantics, it's not just a bit of how you say tzav or tetzave, it's a difference in the teichen as well, because tzav means you should give over the command from Hashem, my command of Hashem. Va'ata means you're the one giving over the command. So the question is, Moshe is only a shliach to give over Hashem's command, so why does it say va'ata tetzave? So one opinion is that, I'm explaining both sides. One opinion is that it's basically one question. The question is, usually it says tzav, why va'ata tetzave? And that question is explained, because tzav means you're giving over Hashem's command, va'ata means you're the one commanding, Moshe is just giving over the command, so it's one question with an explanation to it. That's one side of looking at it. The other side of looking at it as 2 separate questions, because first he's just asking semantics, tzav, va'ata, tetzave, why like this or why like that, and then there's another question, what that really, besides the fact that tzav, va'ata, tetzave is different ways of saying the same thing, really va'ata, tetzave means something else as well. So those are the 2 tzdadim we're looking at it. Again, either it's one question with a hisafa, explaining the question stronger, or indeed it's 2 separate things. What do I personally? I think it's more that it's really one question with an addition on that question. I don't think it's 2 separate questions, but both ways make sense, in my humble opinion. Question: am I allowed to go to the bathroom in the zal over here, to the sinks, and make a bracha? Because inside over here, the room, seemingly it's considered what? Or with tefillin, the same thing. There's a room right over here, which is basically, there's a room with, there's a wall separating between the actual stall. Is there a problem? So the Alter Rebbe writes in the Shulchan Aruch and Siman Pei Gimel, he writes about the issue of making a bracha and all things of kedusha in a bathroom, and he says you have to stay away from the bathroom. Even though there are mechitzos of yutvachim where the stall, where the bathroom is, nevertheless, the actual walls of the bathroom, that the walls are designated for this bathroom, they're discussing like the toilet itself. Stay dal damas away, and you can't sit and facing the walls. Even if it's empty. That's what Alter Rebbe starts off saying. Seemingly 1 second, so we have to build in a wall over here. What's going on over here? Alter Rebbe continues. In the past, there was something called an outhouse. An outhouse was basically where they had built a little shed in the back of your yard with a pit in the ground, and it was built just for that purpose, just to go to the bathroom. But if the walls of your room, the walls of your house, they're the walls for your bathroom, these walls are not considered beis hakisei. They're also the wall for the bathroom. They're not designated just for the bathroom. And that's why mutar likres afilu b'samech lehen mamish, even right next to them. So this is all talking about outside completely. Now inside the room itself, so here we have those stalls are built just for the bathroom, not built for the building, just for the bathroom. So over here, so the way it comes Shulchan Aruch, it would say, Alter Rebbe would seem to be that it will be usher to say amen and go with fill and so on over there. However, in the Piskei Teshuvos, he brings over here that today's bathrooms are not like the past, because today's bathrooms, the things that cleaned up right away don't sit there for a long time. It's supposed to, yeshiva might be different, but Pashas, even yeshivas, at least upstairs here there's no issues. Downstairs may be a different question. So they bring over here that the walls of today's bathrooms are permitted, he says, and everything is because it gets flushed right away. Nothing stays over there, and that's why there's no problem at all to mashma. Even the walls that are for the bathroom that are permitted to say over there amen as well. He concludes midas chasidus to try to avoid it if possible, and so on. Another thing is when Shabbos fathers and sons. So Velvo Minkowitz was here. He told me a story. He was a Bachar, his father. He was in 770. So one time in upstairs 770. So you might not be familiar, but basically there's the wall. There's the 770. Then there's two doors from the zal. And then there's a hallway, and in the hallway there's another miniature hallway, and over there there's a bathroom. That's usually not for the public, just for Anolas Yeshiva. Have to get a key to go in, special bathrooms. So one time the Rebbe was davening, and the door to that bathroom was open, and the Rebbe suddenly stopped, and no one knew why. So this Rabbi Minkowitz, I think it was him himself, he was a bacher, so he went into the hallway and he closed the door, and then. I'm sorry. So then, when they closed that door, then the Rebbe continued davening. So he told me, Rabbi Minkowitz was here, so he's telling me, there's an issue over here. So I told him, the door was open, here the door is always closed. And even when this door is open, so only if the stalls are actually open. Now the urinal is even less of an issue, because urinals are not really considered beis hakisei, because it's not gedolim. So, but if the door is closed, for sure it's not a problem. Now, even if this door is open, and that stall is open as well, l'chayr it's only a chumrah of the Rebbe, which midas chasidus, gesundheit hate, but to say that according to halach it's a problem, I think it's a big stretch. So the bottom line is, outside of it is for sure permitted. Inside over there, when the doors of the stalls are closed, so over there there's makan to be machmir, and l'chayr there's makan to be mekel as well, but l'chayr midas chasidus is not to walk in there with your tefillin. I think for just water for your hands before for mincha and ma'ariv, I think it's fine, but more than that, to answer amen and daven over there, I think would be an issue.
Is it a problem if it doesn't go all the way to the ground? What's the space for it to be?
I think it's more than it's less than 3 tvachim off the ground. No, if it's more than 3 tvachim off the ground, that is mechitza shagdin boikim. That could be an issue. I'm not sure. That's not a problem. 10 tvachim is okay. Problem is that's from underground. But you have to look taka. If it's more than 3 tvachim, then maybe taka would be an issue. Where do minhagim come from? I think that's what this bacher is asking. He spelled it very funny. Where do minhagim come from? Minhagim come from tzaddikim, gedolei Yisrael, and sometimes even some simple Jews, that they basically feel that they want to take upon themselves something which is more than the letter of the law, and if that minhag ends up becoming popular, then it has an element of Torah. So there's a minhag which did not become halacha, Baruch Hashem, and that is a minhag brought down in the Gemara of certain Tanoim that they would not eat milchiks and fleishiks on the same day. Imagine that. And a lot of Bochum, they're careful not to have fleishiks too late in Shabbos afternoon, because they'd have to have their pizza matzah Shabbos. And many Bochum Bechlau throughout the day, they're always afraid to become fleishiks. But first thing in the morning you can have a steak, that's not a problem, because first thing in the morning, you have 6 hours to your milchiks. But there's a chumrah not to have milchiks and fleishiks on the same day. So that was a minhag. Where does it come from?
Are those people that do that?
Not that I know of. That's according to some explanations. That is the din about for Shavuos, whatever. So according to some opinions, the Gemara brings such a minig. So such a minig, it came from basically the person wanted to make a bigger, the Tanoim wanted to make a bigger chumrah to stay away from milk and meat. So they took upon themselves such a kind of minig. So that did not become mainstream. No one else does that today. A kaponim, for sure, not regular people. Most tzaddikim don't do that either. So V'meila, such a thing does not become the minig. But the Armin Hagim, people took over time, which made sense, and now it becomes already a minig which has basis to it. So there are minhagim that become like a minig. So to spit when we say the so that is our minig. So it's not. I don't think it's halacha. You must spit, and many people don't spit, but it's a minig that became. The minig is explained because you don't want to enjoy the saliva, whatever that's supposed to mean exactly, from the words lishtachim lehava v'larik. So based on that, so that minig is kivyochel. Again, it was a chumrah kivyochel not to enjoy even the chshasha of Israel. So it's brought down Seder, but where did the minig come from? It's not like the Gemara says it. It's Gedolei Yisrael probably had the schumra upon themselves, and from that it extended weiter. So minhagim our people take upon themselves minhagim. There's a minig that's coming up to Purim now. The Rebbe has a minute to give Shalach Manus to Koyel Levi Yisrael. Doesn't say that. That's the Rebbe's minig. Many of the Babich Chassidim want to be makbid as well to give Kohen Levi Yisrael. So it becomes a thing that many Yidden want to do that minig. So again, to say that it's Torah that the Babich must give Kohen Levi Yisrael, no, they can't say that. But it's a minig. There is ways to explain it, where the minig comes from. But it's a minig that's based on Torah, where a tzaddik or a Talmud Chacham is extending a mitzvah in certain areas. Regarding Purim, there's a question: Haim ad lo yada hu va'ad bechlal, or he v'lo yad bechlal? So there's a din of ad bechlal. When you say until something, you can say until that and past that, or till that before that. So, for example, a bacher makes a achlata that he's going to go to mikveh every day until Pesach. Does that mean until Pesach, not including Pesach? Lo yad bechlal does mean ad bechlal, including Pesach. Also Pesach, he's going to do this achlata taiva. So the question the Bachar is asking, it says a person has to drink and Purim. Ad lo yoda ben orah hamel baruch Mordechai. So ad means until, including that you should actually be on that level, or till right before that, as soon as you feel that you're about to get there, that's when you stop drinking. So that's there's many pirushim what ad lo yoda means, and there is such a pshat. Some people say it's ad v'lo yad bechlal, and some people say it's ad v'ad bechlal. And for this, we spoke about this in the Gzeira of the Mashko, came up a while ago, that the Pashtus, the Rebbe says, is a Gzeira for Bachrim, not to drink more than 4. So for Bachrim, the Pashtus, it's ad v'lo yad bechlal, it's even less than that. A person should not drink an amount that will make him, basically more than a Ravish, you're not allowed to drink, as Lubavitch or Bachrim, you're not allowed to drink more than that. Huh? Talking about Purim, the whole thing is about Purim.
I thought you were allowed to by Purim.
No, I just finished saying that you're not allowed. The Rebbe said the Gzeira applies to Purim as well.
You said in your last Q&A you spoke about this.
I said I went through it a Bekitzer. Now I'm saying Bekitzer. The bottom line is that we don't do it on Purim either. Our Chassidus Shabachar doesn't get drunk on Purim either. Huh? It's a mitzvah to listen to the Rebbe. The Rebbe says not to, so therefore you shouldn't. Yeah. Simcha Peiretz Geder. Correct. Bikudei Hashem Yisharim Misam Chelev. So you have to do a lot of Torah mitzvahs because that's the real Simcha. Next question: can I learn the Sichos as preparation for davening? It really starts me up and gets me in the kedusha mindset. It brings me to daven, inspiring me to daven often more than a mimer. So the question is: can I learn the Sichos instead of a mimer? So, Bechlal, the inyan of learning before davening, because you know, according to halacha, just like you're not supposed to eat before davening, you're not supposed to learn before davening either, unless you have a set time for davening. But otherwise, you're supposed to wake up first thing in the morning to daven. The reason why we learn before davening, and many even learn Gemara before davening, is because they have a seder. Davening starts at a certain time. Rav Moshe Feinstein would wake up every morning at 4 o'clock, learn for 3 hours, and daven shachas at 7 o'clock. So, if have a set time for davening, you're allowed to learn before davening. But the chatchila to make a seder to learn before davening is because Chassidus is meant to give us a special chayis in davening, based on what it says in Shulchan Aruch. Before davening, we have to think about the greatness of Hashem, Shiflus Adam, and therefore we learn Chassidus before davening. Now, when it talks about learning Chassidus before davening, it's not just the content, it's the fact that it's Divrei Elikim Chaim. Chassidus is words of Hashem, is something which is a Chachma Elikis, and therefore it's not stam, this inspiration, but these words have a special koyach to them. That's why we specifically learn Chassidus before davening. The Sichos, so there are Sichos and the Sichos which are basically from a mimer. See, at the end of every Sicha, it says where the Sicha comes from. Certain Sichos, it clearly says this is from a mimer. The whole Sicha is basically a mimer. But even those Sichos that are basically a mimer, they're rewritten in a style of a Sicha. So some people, I'm just going to share the opinions again. Some people will tell you that no, before davening it has to be dafka dach divrei l'kim chaim dafka ma'amor, and that's the style that has to be. Some people, myself included, will beg to differ, and I will say that you can go to a shir of someone telling you over a mimer. Now, most Magidei shiurim are not just reading the mimer throughout the shir; they're speaking, they're explaining. Their explanations are coming from chassidus, from other places. So, in my humble opinion, a sikha is that even you want to say that not lavdil, just the Rebbe is explaining in Yonim of Torah, but it's basically so the Rebbe is giving you a shir instead of a shir from a Maggid shir and a mimer. The Rebbe is giving you a shir. Now, some sikhs are mamish completely niga, Rambam, or whatever things like that. And I still think that would not be considered chassidus before davening, but I still think that would be permitted. This in such a case where the Bacher is saying that the point of the learning is to inspire you. But I get inspired by learning the sikha, so I think it's fine as well. Even if it's a Rambam sikha, a Rashi sikha, which without the initial Torah, just the dikla part of it, I still think it's okay because it gives you a chayis in the davening. So that is the main point over here. But like I said, I would understand if someone would say that it's not okay, that you have to learn dafka ma'amorim, and some people will say dafka the sikhs that talk about Yom of Chassidus. Some people say every sikh of the Rebbe is Chassidus. That I don't understand. The Rebbe is giving you a pilpul and a Rambam. I don't understand how that becomes Chassidus. It's Kodesh Kadoshim, but Gemara is also Kodesh Kadoshim. I don't see why. The word of Chassidus is it's a different genre of Torah, so I don't think you can say that's considered the Chassidus, but I still think there's room to say that it's fine to learn that before diving that inspires you. First, you have to have Rishus and Hala say Yeshiva. Seder is to learn one thing, you have to know what Seder says, but if it's a Bein Azmanim L'Mashal, then it's fine. What's your favorite subject to learn? My favorite subject, I think usually it depends, but usually Yom Tov time, it is always, whenever comes Yom Tov, so it's always a big geschmack to learn the halachas of Yom Tov, the Mamorim and Yom Tov and stuff like that. Otherwise, whatever is new to me, whenever I find a new subject, which I wasn't familiar with before, that usually gets me more chayas, if you really care. Next question, is there a problem with clapping on Shabbos? Clapping your hands, I assume that's the question. So, what about clapping on Shabbos? So, Really? I don't remember this question coming recently. And Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch Siman Shin Lamed Tes, if based, Alter Rebbe writes, Ein misapkin kaf al yorich, vein metapkin kaf al kaf, you can't clap your hands, bein l'simcha, even for happiness, afilu b'nisuin, even